ever wonder why you are stuck with father or motherly wound? Hey guys, what's up there? My name is CV, or you can call me Lillian. I'm here to empower you to be your authentic self, and with authenticity, you'll find meaning and purpose in life. So why is this topic coming out right now? And it has been a while that I appear on my social media because I'm just busily setting up my new healing space, which is now based in Malacca, Malaysia. So for those of you, if you are planning a trip to Malacca, welcome to Malacca. This is a lovely place full of culture, great food, and just chill out. And so if you do find an interest to understand more of my healing practice, you can simply drop me a private message or just email me, or just head up to my Instagram. So here is it, talking about fatherly and motherly wound. And I think this specific message will be so resonating with people who hold their father and mother so close and near and dear to their heart. And why am I saying so? I'm just simply sharing an experience that I recently had with my parents. A little bit of background. I came back from Hong Kong to Malaysia. I basically started my venture into the healing space, into spirituality, on my personal capital. That means I use my savings that I'm able to generate from my profession in Hong Kong, and then I come back to Malaysia to venture. So along the way, no one in my family is actually knowing what happened in this space except me, because they are not into psychology. No one is in social science. No one is in entertainment industry to even can coach me or guide me. All they have is successful story from people who comes from background of investment banking, of private funds, of angel investors, all sorts of huge capital background. So they, in a way that I can say they can only trust in me starting on my own venture because I'm using my own capital. And so they can only just give me some words of encouragement based on that, right? They are not actually in the space or a supportive space in guiding me to venture further. So what really happened is that, and I really wanted to relate it to the very recent event that has happened with my parents. So first, let's talk about the father wound, right? Which to me, at this very moment, if I'm able to speak it out loud and share it with the world, because somehow I feel like such practical event and experience can indeed help us out, our soul brothers and soul sisters. Maybe some of you kind of find difficulties in navigating such relationships, and I do understand how important is those fatherly and motherly love to you, and I really send you my warmest heart and my warmest love to you virtually here. I'm with you, because when we are really being unseen by our parent, or kind of just when our parent did not really nourish us in the way that we got to be prepared for the world, or we got to prepare ourselves, right, for life. That is when we carry that father and mother wound. That means we feel like they haven't really give us. And I do understand that this doesn't really happen to just Asian family, but I believe there are so many community out there who are non-Asian. Basically I'm an Asian. I'm a Malaysian Chinese. So here I guess many of us did suffer from the negative side of the period of 8. Speaking about the cosmic energy. If for some of you, if you are not really familiar with what is period of 8, so basically period of 8, it nurtures and give energy to those industry in real estate, in finance, in commerce, in trading, okay, and it really gives the booms of assets accumulation. And the negative side of it is that people will be measuring success based on really on like material success. And that's why right now we are in the year where period of 8 is ending, and we are moving into period of 9, okay, which I am really glad about, because I can feel and sense that our mental health awareness, the awareness about well-being is really being heightened right now. Okay, so speaking of this father wound, before I further elaborate more on that, which I think I will probably talk it in another episode or another chapter, right? Really, because right now I'm in my very first few steps, okay, establishing my physical presence, and finally owning a healing space for my private practice, which means that my parents have seen me transforming from online presence to offline presence. And one thing that I felt really offended or kind of like hurtful when I received a comment, okay, is that my father told me, okay, if you can't really convince people to purchase at a certain amount, that means you are a failure. Okay, he did mention that I'm not meant to offend you, but you are meant to be a failure. Or it's like not meant to, it's like that means you are a failure. Okay, look at how I'm not talking about just me being sensitive, but truly when we are speaking to an aspiring entrepreneur, yes, I did understand sometimes we got to have like tough love, okay, and facing the reality of knowing what truly like prove us as a successful person, right, against those KPIs or against those benchmark, okay, that society has set it up to kind of like position you, okay. But the really thing here is that I can really sense that this is not just about him being, you know, in putting in the light of the reality and shining it so bright on me, because I guess he is not really seeing the success definition as how I deem success is. And because of him being my father, which someone that I truly admire, adore, and love and care for, and somehow at this moment in time when he still mentioned this statement to me, I can really say that I'm offended, I'm hurtful, I feel hurtful, okay, by this statement. But somehow I'm also appreciative because I'm able to be observing my whole behavior and my response, okay, towards his command, which to me right now I feel so much more peaceful and stable because of all the work, okay, that I done in my inner self, and as well as understanding what is definitely out there for me, okay. And the whole process of transition and progression that is with me, that experience is with me. So who is he to actually put that success definition on me, except that I given him the power to position me or to label me. And if it was my previous version that I can't really detach from negative energy quickly, I would definitely take this energy and really make me hold back on myself, okay. So I don't know who else is needing to hear this because of you positioning your father as an authority figure that who is supposed to nurture you, giving you wisdom, giving you the love and care, while they are telling you about the risks or the reality of the world of whatever success and benchmark. And if they are not understanding you in a deep level and they don't come in any background of the industry and yet they just simply give you this comment, I send you my, not to say sympathy, but I can relate to you. I want you to feel empowered within yourself and to truly own your fact, to truly own the definition of success, to truly own your experience, okay? To rise above all these statements. And especially for those who you really deem your father as one of the source of love since childhood. And maybe you can't really understand the family dynamic wise, why do you hold on so much? But yes, our caregiver, our main family caregiver is kind of like the very first few source that we gain love from, okay? And right now, if you are stepping into your adulthood, I encourage you to truly step within and to find the inner power and inner wisdom to give love and affirmation to yourself for whatever success you define for yourself. Okay, so the second thing I would love to talk about is the motherly wound. So the mother figure in my life is someone who really overgives, I would say. I learned people pleasing from, well, I guess from both of my parents, but I would say my mom is someone who really overgives sometimes, and she, of course, as a parental figure, they always deem whatever they deem best for us will give the best result. And if we are not following whatever advice they are giving us, then we are set up for failure, some sort, right? So it's a little bit similar, but in this incident, it is a little bit different. So the incident went like that where I felt hurtful, right? But I'm right now considering myself healed and kind of like rose above that challenge or that hurtful feeling, because I'm willing to share it out and I'm willing to inspire the next person to not feel hurtful or offended because of how much your parent mentioned something about you, or just simply give you simple statement like this, okay? And if you haven't yet owned that inner wisdom and inner power within you, you might be affected, and that might hold you back. And that is why you kind of find like yourself stopping yourself from achieving the success. So the incident went like this. So my mom know that she used to give me like ornaments or something like an object of blessings, right? So she indeed observed that I didn't carry with me a certain object of blessing that she deemed is good for me. So in this conversation, she mentioned that, hey, why not you bring this along so as to enhance your rate of success? And I can't actually articulate why exactly at that very moment, like my intuition or somehow like my energy body reacts like, hey mom, I told her like, why are you deeming me that I'm not able to achieve success without this object of blessing, right? And then she was feeling quite offended because that was not a usual response from me, such a lovely daughter, right? Because I used to really say, okay, yes mom, okay, yes dad, I take this whatsoever, right? But being someone who is really authentic to myself right now, I cannot take that version of me anymore. Like, I no longer be a yes girl, yes daughter, okay? I'm really sorry if that hurts your feeling, father and mother, but I do want to share this with the world because I believe many of, I think the youngest or the younger siblings will feel this. We used to please our parents, right? And to just get most of their love comparing to our elder siblings. Okay, so the conversations went like that, and my mom just suddenly felt so stunned because I gave her a response that deemed like whatever that she's telling me is negative, because well, actually, as simple as the fact that I'm actually kind of like soft rejecting her suggestion. And I think this is maybe somehow that she felt that her love is being rejected. And I'm just very honest with my mother there, and I told her that I truly appreciate what she suggested me. But at the moment in time, I didn't know that my instinct of a healer, okay, come out again. And I was asking my mom, like, why do you think that I really need this object of blessing to be successful? So do you think that your daughter is not successful without the object of blessings? And then she told me that she didn't think that, and she didn't give me that thoughts. So I'm being really, really negative about her good wishes, and that she's also angry and hurtful about it, okay? And somehow maybe there's some miscommunication, but when I reflected, okay, on the event on the very night, I kind of like feel my whole body, and like I finally feel free. Like something in my chest area that I kind of like feel so burdensome about is finally set free. And yeah, and so this is the stories, okay, of my very recent happening. Regardless of what is the timing that you tune into this video, I thank you so much for your time in listening and tuning in. And I hope that if you had a friend, or if you had someone who cannot really come out of like parental wound, especially when they are starting to feel like they got to own their self-identity instead of being that son or daughter or whatsoever to their parent, to be in a submissive way, when they need to mature up and they need to be an adult, okay? Or perhaps you can simply share with any elderly who feel offensive about it. I think it is nothing about offensiveness. It's just honest communication between parents and children. Like, I do think that this communication is really, really important, so that first, the children does not hold themselves back just because they kind of like finally being really clear and honest about their needs, about their feelings with the communication with their parents. And secondly, I think it is beneficial as well for the elderly to understand the point of view of their children and to truly set their children free and to engage in more positive conversations. Because who doesn't know negativity nowadays, okay? Hello? When you open up the media, regardless of whatever platform you tune in, okay, negative news are there, right? We had enough negativity, and especially in family bond, if negative news are needed, I would encourage more positive affirmations and more constructive commentaries instead of just giving like, okay, if you are not achieving this, then it's done, right? Because who will make the final call is the person who make the choices and decisions in their life, and that is adherent and aligned to their authentic self and to their personal life purpose. Alright, I hope this you enjoy this video, this point of view, talking about fatherly and motherly wound, and kind of like rising above it, and understand that you do own your truth, you own your experience, and it is definitely safe and secure and sound for you to speak up, okay, to the whatever authority figure. Because when it is time for you to rise up to the next level, then you are meant to experience a little bit of uncomfortableness here and there, but somehow I promise you, once you pass the threshold, you're good to go. Okay? Success, and it's always with you. Success, happiness, well-being, you own it. Authentic self, you own it. Okay? Once again, thank you so much, and I wish to see you in my next video. Right, bye!